Welcome to another edition of the Noles podcast. I am your host, Gregory McCoy. This podcast is by a fan for fans. I am not a journalist. I am not a reporter. I am not an insider. I do not work for a website. The majority of my content comes from me and my opinion. Other information comes from the internet. So, Jermaine Johnson goes in the first round, pick number 26, to the New York Jets. I think it's a good fit. In my opinion, I think he was the best pass rusher in this draft. And that's not because he went to Florida State. It's just, his ability, his talent as a pass rusher, I felt was better than the other edge rushers in this draft. I think if he puts in the work, if he can stay injury free, I think eventually the talent is going to show. But just a tremendous year for him, a tremendous way to bet on yourself and win. So I give him a lot of respect. He couldn't get on the field consistently at Georgia, and for good reason. Most of their front seven got drafted in the first round. So, that was just a tremendous defense. I can't believe Nakobe Dean went in the third round. I thought he was the best inside linebacker in terms of instincts and tackling in this draft. But, it's Georgia. I don't really care. But I just, when it just comes to the talent, I kind of put the FSU bias to the side. Nakobe Dean is a tremendous talent. There's not really a lot of stuff to talk about in terms of Florida State at the draft. It's pretty much Jermaine Johnson, and that's it. Kier Thomas is undersized, so I don't know where you're gonna play him. I think you're gonna have to put him at defensive tackle. Maybe he can be like a poor man's Aaron Donald. But he's gonna have to get up to about 280 and get in the gym and start working out like crazy. 280, 290, and play defensive tackle. 3 technique. I don't see him as an edge rusher. For the last couple of episodes, I've been telling y'all about what we need to do to get back to being relevant. I don't want to say it's a dead horse, but, pretty much it's a dead horse. These guys just got to want to be better is really what it comes down to. They just have to want it, But I will say that the offensive line that they brought in this year as far as high school recruiting is a foundational piece. I don't think we're anywhere close to where we want to be in terms of the offensive line, but you've got some great foundational pieces in this class that can help this program, get back to somewhat relevance. So it's going to be really interesting to see how Mike Norvell and staff coach these guys up. I'm really anxious. I think the defense is going to be better than the offense when the season starts. So it's going to be really interesting to see how they use Jordan Travis. Are they going to use him more as a running threat? Are they going to let him, just throw it all over the yard? That's what I want to see. I want to see, has Jordan Travis actually gotten better? Can he roll the dice and have a Kenny Pickett type career where he just came back and bet on himself and got drafted in the first round. 42 touchdowns, 7 interceptions last season. So, to do that, you have to be pretty good on the field and pretty good in the film room. So I don't know Jordan Travis's work habits, because I'm not an insider or nothing like that, but I'm just saying, just from what we seen last year, I don't know if we can realistically expect those kind of stats. I was watching the Ole Miss Florida State season opener. I want to say that was 2015, where Ole Miss got up 28-6 on us, and they just came back, man. I mean, we had a lot of great players on that team. And, that was 6 years ago, bro. That was 6 years ago. Or 7 years ago. And that just seems like a lifetime ago. I mean, you had DK Metcalf and A.J. Brown and Chad Kelly on that team. And the boys fought back and won that game. I just wish that we could get that same swagger back. I just wish we could get it back. And I think Norvell is trending in the right direction. But this year, it's just got to be a giant leap. I mean, we got to go out here and just dominate some teams for me to fully believe that we can get back to being in national title contention. I don't think it's going to be this year. I think he has to have a winning record this year. And then next year, 2023, is really going to be the year where you say, okay, it's time to put the pedal to the metal. And we next season, we got to be in ACC championship title contention. I'm not saying we have to win it. I'm not saying we have to be in the championship game, but we at least have to be in the conversation. So I think the next 2 seasons are really going to tell us if Mike Norvell is the long-term answer. And if he's not, I think you have to go get Deion. I mean, I think Deion has proven that, hey, I can go to a Jackson State and just make history. And I'm creating all the resources. Just imagine what he could do with Florida State's resources. I mean, he could take us to the next level. He could put us up there with Alabama and Georgia in terms of resources. So, this year and next year is just, if Mike Norvell is not in ACC title contention in 2023, I'm not saying he has to win it. I'm not even saying he has to go to Charlotte. I'm just saying you have to be in the conversation. Just be in contention, I'd be happy. But it's just, I'm not going to lower my expectations for this program. As the saying goes, the standard is the standard, and you got to hold the program to the standard. When you start expecting less, I mean, I'm realistic now. I'm not going to sit here and have my head in the clouds. But, I've never said, okay, I don't expect my team to get back. I expect them to get back. It's just too much talent in the state of Florida not to get back. It's so much talent that goes to other programs and flourishes. If we could just keep some of the 3 stars, we would be all right. So, I really feel like, this year I think you need to go 7-5, 8-4. Then I would say in 2023 you need to be 9-3, 10-2, on the cusp of an ACC championship. in contention for an ACC championship. Okay? And I think that would go a long way to know if Mike Norvell is the long-term answer. I think he is. I think he's done a tremendous job flipping this roster. I think he's done a tremendous job in the portal. I don't agree with the Mackenzie Milton decision. Okay? I didn't agree with the Chubba Purdy, the handling of Chubba Purdy. I thought when Jordan Travis went down, I thought Chubba Purdy, just from an athletic standpoint, gave us a better chance to win than that version of Mackenzie Milton. And he made the wrong decision. I think if you would have played Chubba Purdy during that stretch when Jordan Travis was out, I mean, we would have Jordan Travis. See, y'all know I'm bad with names. The new freshman quarterback, A.J. Duffy, and Chubba Purdy, and Rodemaker, however you say his last name. And we would be sitting pretty good in the quarterback room. But, you know, it's ancient history now. We lost Quayshawn Fuller. I was looking for him to be a big-time contributor coming off the bench, but, you know, he decided to get in the portal and, you know, make the best of his situation. I can't blame him for that. He wants to play, and you got to respect that. So I think we're down to like 82, 81 scholarships. So, I mean, I expect sometime next month, we're going to have some more transfer portal guys, and hopefully we can get some guys, some additional something to get us, you know, where we want to be. I would say try to go after another lineman, offensive lineman. You can never have enough offensive linemen in my book. So, I wouldn't mind having another defensive tackle. Football is all about the line of scrimmage. He who has the best line of scrimmage players usually wins in all levels of football. So, we got a long way to go to get to domination on the offensive line and defensive line, but I think we can get there. Football is a game that you do need talent. You do need, you know, all the attributes, strength, speed, ability. But I think more so it's just mental. Football is a very mental game, whereas, you know, you have to mentally prepare yourself to go out and basically dominate your opponent. You have to mentally get to a place where you're ready to compete. You have to mentally get to a place where you know that you're going to win. And that edge has been lacking really since Dalvin Cook and DeMarcus Walker left. You know, that was really the last year I can really point to a Florida State team and I can say, okay, mentally, we're going to be all right. You know, the talent, the physical talent is there. The athletes are there. But mentally, these guys are ready to play. And just for the last, 6 years, we just haven't been there. And I don't know if that's a reflection of coaching or just, you know, just the type of athlete that we're getting. I would say it's a combination of both. We just don't have those guys out there that just say, I refuse to lose mentally. You know, never say die attitude, as the phrase goes. And, you know, that's the attitude that we have to get back to. I think for too long, the type of athlete that we've been getting, with some exceptions here and there, Cam Akers, Your boy from the Chargers, the cornerback. I told you I'm horrible with names, so who I didn't think was that good, but he's gone to the pros and had a heck of a couple years so far. With the exception of probably those two guys and a couple other guys, we really haven't had the type of team that just, okay, we're not losing today. Jameis Winston had that. Dalvin Cook had that. I mean, Rashard Green. I mean, I could just sit here and keep naming guys. Just we're not going to lose today. And Alabama, constantly, I mean, year after year, they have those type of teams that we're not going to lose. Georgia had it last season. We're not going to lose. And that's what we need to get back to. The mental part of football is just so important. And I think it's just a thing that this team, just the whole outfit has just ignored. And I don't know if Norvell can get us there. Because that, to me, is like an instant impact thing for a head coach. The team takes on the mentality of the coach instantly. It's not something that happens over time. The mentality of the coach is instantly picked up by the team. And I hate to say this, but when I played high school football, I can speak on this a little bit. I played for probably the best head coach in North Carolina and South Carolina. You just knew when you stepped on that field, it was a standard, it was an expectation, and you either gonna meet it or you wasn't gonna play. It was that simple. And from what I've seen these first couple years of Florida State, I don't see that mental edge from the coach. Now, I could be completely off base with this, but I just don't see guys going out there throwing themselves against the wall to win games. I just don't see it. Now, I hope Norvell is, the most successful coach in Florida State history just because I'm a Florida State fan. That's what I want for this program. But I just don't see it right now. Rome is not built in a day. And I know that during this podcast, I've kind of gone back and forth saying that I think Norvell is the guy. I think Norvell is not the guy. And for the record, I want him to be successful. I don't want to go through another coaching change. I don't want to reset the program yet again. But you're in the business of winning football games. You're in the business of winning conference championships and national championships. Now, we're not Georgia. We're not Alabama. We're not going to be in it year in and year out. We're not even Clemson. Okay? But I think we can be LSU. I think every 3 or 4 years we can make a serious run at a national championship. I think that's really the benchmark for Florida State. That's really the ceiling for Florida State is LSU. Every 4 or 5 years, you make a serious run at a national championship. I'd be happy with that. I mean, we don't have the money like Alabama or Georgia to be in it year in and year out. Okay? So, we don't have that coach that can galvanize people in terms of boosters and money. So, the only thing he really has at his disposal is winning football games. And losing to like a Jacksonville State didn't help that cause. So I just think that, like they say, man, winning is the ultimate deodorant. And, if you can go out here and go 8-4, that would build up a lot of good credit for this program you as the head coach, Mike Norvell, and just getting some inroads into the high 4 and 5-star recruits in the state of Florida. Because I really feel like you need to dominate the state of Florida before you go venturing outwards to other states. And we can do it. It's been done. You know. But we still going through the process of getting back. You know, we in Bobby Bowden's last couple years of being the head coach, we were going through that process. And then when Jimbo took over, you know, we got there. So we got to do better than 5-7. We got to do better than 6-6. I need at least 7-5. At least. I don't think that's asking for too much. I think 7-5 is doable. You know, I watched this thing with Nick Saban called The Process, and it's basically getting your team to buy in to what you're doing. And, you know, he coaches very hard. I mean, if you watch some of his stuff on YouTube, man, he's a lunatic. And that's what we need. That's the kind of coach we need. The team takes on the personality of the head coach. Most coaches can get the team to buy in instantaneously. Some can't. Sometimes it takes a little longer, but for our sakes, it's got to happen now. It should have happened 2 years ago. So we'll see what happens. Thank you for listening. This podcast is available on YouTube and all podcast platforms. And I appreciate your support. As always, go Noles.